On some days, life feels louder than your strength, and silence, it becomes your only friend. But sometimes, just one stranger, one small act, can whisper to your soul, "You are not invisible." Daniel, 16, walks alone, under a dark, rainy sky. His school bag is soaked. His hoodie clings to him. Around him, the world moves fast, horns blaring, people rushing. But inside, he feels invisible. He sits on a cold bench outside the park. Rain pours, no umbrella, no direction. What difference would it make if I disappeared right now? A thought he doesn't say aloud, but it's written in his eyes. A middle-aged man, Liam, walks by. Noticing Daniel soaked and silent, he pauses. He doesn't ask anything. He just quietly opens his umbrella and holds it over Daniel. Daniel looks up, confused. The man gives a warm, silent nod and sits beside him. No words, just company, just presence. After a while, the man stands up to leave, placing the umbrella in Daniel's hand. He smiles and says just one thing, "You matter," and walks away. That small act shouldn't have meant much, but to Daniel, it meant everything. He sits, holding that umbrella, whispering those words to himself. "You matter." Again and again. Tears mix with the rain. I'm not invisible. For the first time, Daniel doesn't feel lonely. Because someone noticed, someone stayed. He hadn't been there, I would have drowned in silence. But in his presence, I didn't feel alone. Daniel didn't forget. He never saw that man again. But that one umbrella, that one moment, became the reason he chose not to give up. He returned to school. He sought help. He made small efforts. Books replaced dark thoughts. Friends replaced silence. Hope slowly returned. He began volunteering at youth shelters, listening to others like him. He learned what silence sounds like in others, because he had lived in it himself. Years later, Daniel, now in his 20s, opens the door to a quiet therapy room. On the couch sits a young girl, crying silently, the way he once did. He kneels beside her, softly hands her a tissue, and says, "It's okay to be quiet, but you're not alone. I'm here." He became a child therapist for depressed teens, helping those who feel invisible, feel seen. Not because he was trained to, but because one man, one umbrella, once told him, "You matter." Sometimes, the biggest change in someone's life comes from the smallest act. A word, a gesture, an umbrella, held by a stranger. That one moment rewrote Daniel's entire future. If this story touched your heart, imagine how many quiet souls are waiting for their one small sign. Be that whisper. Be that umbrella. Be that change. Subscribe. Share. Your small act could rewrite someone's life.